everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Andrea and it's nice to have you guys here. Today we're doing March favorites. I'm not letting another few months go by. I want to get back into monthly favorites, not seasonal favorites. Like I did with the winter favorites. If you watched my video on Tuesday, yes, I'm wearing the same outfit. I'm filming this on the same video. I'm filming this on the same video on the same day. It's Sunday. I'm sitting down to do my bulk filming like usual, but I'm not feeling that great. But I have to get these videos filmed, so bear with me. So, monthly favorites. Just diving right in. Most of these are going to be lifestyle. I have a lot of favorites, and most of them are lifestyle favorites. I will start with the kind of beauty favorites and then things that I have to hold up. And then those who don't want to listen to me ramble about movies and music and stuff, you can click off. Hopefully you won't. I hope you will stay. Okay, so diving right in, a few cosmetic makeup type favorites. One I'm not going to ramble too much about, but I did feature this in my Best of Skincare tag. This is by Eminence Organic Skincare, which is, if you've been watching me for a while, you know that's my all-time favorite skincare company. And this is their facial recovery oil. And this is the best stuff ever. Like, ever. This is magic. This is like liquid magic in a bottle. I use a few drops of this on my face morning and night. This is basically my moisturizer now. I never would have thought to put an oil on my face because I am acne prone, but this does not feel like an oil. It absorbs into the skin so beautifully and so comfortably. It really does make a difference to the quality of my skin. I feel like it's really helped with the breakouts that I've had. There were a few large blemishes that I had a couple weeks ago, and now I can't even see where they were. Like, there's almost no hyperpigmentation scarring left over from them, and they were pretty big nasty breakouts. I have another one that's kind of covered with concealer, and I've been putting this all over it, and I'm kind of tracking it because now I feel like after another week or so this one's going to be gone. So it's just really been helping my skin. It helps my skin recover, hence the recovery oil, but it also seems to be preventing my skin from completely freaking out, especially with the weather changing. So yeah, this is a winner. It's about $70, but a little goes a very long way, so it's lasting me a long time. So love this. This has definitely been a favorite throughout all of March. Another favorite is the Mini Color Switch by Vera Mona, and I got this at Sephora. And I got the travel size. There is a larger size. It's a $4 difference. The travel size is perfect, and then it's travel size, so I can bring it with me. And it's just got this kind of mesh, this one I've been using, this kind of meshy, spongy material inside. And you swirl your eyeshadow brush on it, and it takes off the powder. So you can use the same brush for like 3 different colors as you're doing your eyeshadow and just switch the colors with this, hence the name Color Switch. But I was really impressed. It actually really does work, and it makes doing my eyes in the morning so easy. I don't really use it to switch the colors while I'm doing my makeup, but I tend to clean them off on this before I put them back in my eyeshadow brush pot. And then I do a deep cleanse later on, but it just means my brushes are always there and ready to be used the next day, which is great, and I love it. And what's nice about this is the little sponge does come out of the tin. I will dirty up one side, flip it over, dirty up the other side, so this one's due to be washed, and then it just washes really easy. I just take my Dr. Bronner soap, slather this in that, and then rinse it out, and because of the material it's made out of, it dries really quickly. It definitely dries overnight, so it's ready to use again the next day, and I really like it. It was $14 for this size. I think the full size is $18, but the travel size I think is perfect, and it is then nice and small and travel friendly, so I don't have to have the full size and the travel size. Another beauty favorite is something that I featured in my London haul, and have not really talked about it since, and some of you were wondering, and that is the PS Pro brush from Primark. So sorry, if you live in the US, you're not going to be able to get this. But I did want to mention this because I've been loving this to put on my foundation and also some of my BB creams in the mornings. So as I've been wearing those more often over the last month or so, I've been using this brush and I'm really liking it. It's super soft on the skin. It's so soft on the skin. And it does a really good job of blending. The trick I've found is not to lift it up a lot. It's more to use a circular motion and do like a whole section of the face without lifting this off the face. So I'll do all of this side and then I'll kind of swirl it around the chin and then I'll swirl it around over here, and I don't really lift it up off the skin as I'm doing that. But I just find I get a really beautiful finish from this, better than some of my other foundation brushes. Now I do like it better than my sponges. I've never tried the Beauty Blender, so I cannot compare it to that, but compared to like the Real Technique sponge, yeah, I like this better for foundation. So I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't buy more and that I didn't buy some of the other sizes because I really like this. And then the final beauty favorite is this perfume from Ted Baker. This is the Polly scent, which is like a rose floral, and it's beautiful. I got a small sample, a small size of this in London as part of a holiday gift set that I got on sale. And I just fell in love with this, so when I found this at my local Ted Baker, I bought it as one of my birthday gifts to myself, and it's just become the main fragrance that I wear, and I love it. I love it. $30 at Ted Baker here in the US, so I don't know what the pricing would be like in other countries, but it's pretty reasonably priced. It's not super expensive. So yeah, love it. Okay, so that's the beauty stuff. Now getting into kind of some home stuff. I do have a couple candles because y'all know I love my candles. So I've got two candles from Bath & Body Works. So the first one that I've been in love with is the Fresh Cut Lilacs. So good, so good. And it comes in this really pretty kind of marble finish jar, which I will totally reuse. The fragrance notes in this one is lilac bouquet, dewy greens, and soft spring air. I don't know how they get soft spring air, but it's mostly lilac. So I really love this one. I've been burning this one out here at my desk. And then I have this one, which is honeysuckle bouquet, which is sweet honeysuckle nectar, peony petals, and soft creamy vanilla. When you burn it, you do get a tiny bit of the vanilla, but it's not vanilla in the same way that some of the like baking cookie type scents that Bath & Body Works does. It's not that kind of vanilla, so it's really subtle and beautiful. So those are my two candle favorites. Now getting into books, movies, music, that sort of stuff. I did read a book that's not comps related. It was amazing. I read this after I finished all my reading for comps, but while I was still preparing for my comp exam. So this is the book Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver. This is a teen young adult fiction book. So what it says on the inside cover, which is going to be a better way for me to describe this book than I could do otherwise. What if you only had one day to live? What would you do? Who would you kiss? And how far would you go to save your own life? Samantha Kingston has it all: the world's most crush-worthy boyfriend, 3 amazing best friends, and first pick of everything at Thomas Jefferson High, from the best table in the cafeteria to the choicest parking spot. Friday, February 12 should be just another day in her charmed life. Instead, it turns out to be her last. Then she gets a second chance. 7 chances, in fact. Reliving her last day, during one miraculous week, she will untangle the mysteries surrounding her death and discover the true value of everything she is in danger of losing. This was such an interesting book to read. It does start a bit slow. I will admit that. It took me the first chapter to kind of get into it. But then once it gets going, I think I read like the second half of the book in one sitting. So it was really interesting. You both love the characters and hate the characters, including the main one, Samantha. You know, they're all teenagers in high school, and at first I thought, oh, this was a mistake. I shouldn't have gotten this book. I'm not gonna like this. I'm too old for these characters. You know, their actions were just really annoying me. You know, it's like, you guys are so young and you don't have any idea what life is really about. But as the book gets into that, you start to feel sorry for some of them. You really go on this journey with the main character, and I just thought it was really interesting and really well done. If I had a teenage child, I would want them to read this because I think there's a lot of really interesting lessons that the characters learn. So yeah, really, really liked this book. Now I've got to go to my little sticky note. So here's all the things that I don't have to hold up for you. I just have them written on a sticky note. So number 1, Ed Sheeran's new album, Divide, is amazing. And I have been listening to it pretty much non-stop on repeat since it got released on March 3rd. I cannot get enough of this album. It is just amazing. I love all of the kind of romantic songs. I love Perfect and I love Hearts Don't Break Around Here. Dive is amazing, and Happier is such a good song. So yeah, I'm not gonna rant and rave about Ed Sheeran's album this whole video, but I could. Another favorite is 2 shows on Netflix. Well, a lot of these are on Netflix, but 2 TV shows that I've been having to control myself not to binge watch them because there's only a limited amount on Netflix. One is The Great British Baking Show, which I know I'm like really, really late to that party, but I really like it. I used to think it's so ridiculous that people really like the show. They're just baking. It's just a baking contest, but oh my god, my heart starts pounding as they're getting judged, and I just, oh, so good. Love it. Another favorite show is Escape to the Country, which is a house hunter show, but it's all throughout the British countryside. And now I'm like, okay, I want to live in Devon. No, I want to live in Dorset. No, I want to live in the Scottish Highlands. No, I want to live in Wales. I just need to have like several properties throughout the UK. On Amazon Prime, or it's free for Prime members, but you can download and rent it regardless on Amazon. The Dressmaker with Kate Winslet. Number 1, the costumes are incredible. The costumes are just amazing, but the story is so good. It's not going to be a film for everyone, but if you like quirky Australian dark comedies, I think you'd like it. There is kind of a drama mixed in. There are some sad moments, but there's also just some really funny moments. But it's definitely a dark comedy, dark humor. It's not going to be everyone's kind of humor. The reviews on Amazon, there are some people that just really did not like the film. But I thought it was so good, and I actually kind of want to watch it again. It's been a couple weeks, and so now I'm like, I should watch that again because that was really funny. Another hour-long documentary, it's actually Nova on PBS, but they have it on Netflix, it's called Super Tunnel. I'm just pulling it up. Yeah, it's called Super Tunnel. Construction workers drill 26 miles of new subway tunnels in the London Underground without disrupting train service or damaging historic buildings. So it's only 53 minutes, but it's about the construction of the Crossrail in London, which is going to be a new rail on the underground system that goes from out by Heathrow Airport to the west, out through Canary Wharf and those areas to the east. So it's going to be great when it finally opens. So it was really interesting to watch the documentary, just how they make these kind of subway lines, and because of how old the underground is, it's just really interesting to see what this process of building this rail is like. It's been going on for quite a few years now, and I've walked by areas where they've dug these shafts or they've got these new stations going in, and I've seen all of the signage and, you know, and everything, but I really didn't know much about what they were doing. I knew obviously they were building a new line, but I didn't really know anything about it. So when I stumbled on that, it was really cool and really interesting to see. And then the final thing before this video gets massively long is the film Beauty and the Beast. I should do a separate blog post or something about this. I went to see it on Monday the 20th, so the day before my exam. I went to see it to try to distract myself and calm myself down, and kind of failed miserably because the movie was just so overwhelming and so amazing. It did not have the relaxing effect that I was kind of hoping and intending it to have. But it was so good. So I know a lot of people of all different ages love the animated version, Beauty and the Beast. And I'm definitely part of that group. I was 10 when it came out. I remember when that film came out. I remember going to see it in the theater. I have very vivid memories of seeing it on the big screen. It was such a huge part of my childhood. When I was watching the film, the live action one, the new one, I swear for 2 hours and 8 minutes I was 10 years old again, and I did not want it to end. And even though I knew how the story went and I knew what happened, it was like watching it for the first time. Partly because live action, you knew they were going to make some changes, but part of it was just you get so caught up in it and so immersed in the storyline, and it's just so amazing what they've done with all of the special effects and visual effects and the way that they bring the objects to life. And like the Be Our Guest number is incredible. But then there's some really great new songs, and I appreciated how they also brought in some of the songs or some of the musical themes from the Broadway musical, which I've also seen. My expectations were so incredibly high going into this because this is my childhood. Don't screw around with my childhood. I was going to be so disappointed if they screwed it up. My expectations were set so high and they still exceeded all of them. It was just absolute perfection, and yeah, I cannot rave about that movie enough, and I really want to go see it again and again and again and again, and I can't wait for the DVD or the Blu-ray to come out, and I hope there's a million bonus features on it because it was just so good. I haven't seen the animated film in a while, so I can't do a direct comparison, but from what I do remember, and when I was a kid I watched it a million times, I don't really think they changed anything. In fact, there's a lot of lines of dialogue that are exactly the same word for word. There's a lot of shots and camera angles that are exactly the same as they were in the animated film. And so for those of us who did grow up kind of watching it on VHS and then on DVD over and over and over again, a lot of those most iconic scenes and moments are still there, and they're still the same, and they didn't change it, which is amazing. But they did add some things. They did add some new songs, which I really love, all of the new songs. It's just, yeah. I'm gonna stop because I could do a whole video on this film, but it was just so good. So if you haven't yet gone to see it and you've been thinking about it, or if you want to see it but you're just worried because what if they screw it up, go see it. You won't regret it. It's so good. And I absolutely loved it. I was crying the whole way through because it was just so amazing. I think part of that was my emotional state with the comp exam coming up, but the woman next to me was also crying throughout the film off and on, so it wasn't just that. Part of it was the film itself. So yeah, I'm gonna stop because this video's gotten massively long, and I'm sorry. I should have warned you guys to get a cup of coffee or tea or something, but you should just get used to that with me. My videos tend to be long anyway. But I'm losing my voice, and I'm also really tired, and I need to go lay down now after filming 2 videos. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That means a lot to me. Say hi in the comments. I love talking to you guys. That's even better. Subscribe if you are not subscribed. I will see you all in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.